5 to 7 minute speech. And Eddie, you're going to read.
I'm going to read.
I'm sorry, Prez, you're going to read the.
So, Guy is giving his project number 8, which is a speech that's designed to get him comfortable with using visual aids. And the two main objectives of the speech are: number 1, select visual aids that are appropriate for your message and the audience. And number 2, use visual aids correctly with ease and confidence.
Thank you.
I'd like to talk about influential people. The reason is that I want to be an influential person one day. And I think many of us want to be influential, or we look up to influential people, we want to be like them, we want to emulate them. We want to say, oh, how does he do that? I want to do that as well. They're usually successful, they usually do good in the world. So real quick, who's this guy over here? Does anyone know? This guy over here on the right. Say that again, Tim? Mahler? Mahler, that's right. Gustav Mahler, composer and conductor. So, the influential people I'm going to talk about are two people that made the Time 100, every year Time has a 100 most influential people's list. And these two people made the list this year and last year. Now these people, the way I chose them, from their country of origin. They're from, oh, excuse me. These people are leaders, they're heroes, thinkers, and artists, which means they come from all walks of life, they can come from all kinds of disciplines, and they are usually very prominent. Now these people that I chose are people from Israel, that's where I'm from. Israel is this tiny little red thing in the middle, and being from there, I feel that I'm an ambassador. I feel that I want to represent Israel. So I think that Israel is misrepresented in the media and in general. So I want to balance that out with some good things that happen. So the first person is Shai Agassi. Shai Agassi is a young entrepreneur, businessman, who has a very big vision for the world. He wants to tackle a very big problem, and that is our addiction to oil. You see, oil, as we know, runs everything in the world, and it's very prominent. His vision, he wants to eliminate use of oil in the car region, or have cars run on electric and not on oil. So as we know, cars are a big pollutant. They pollute, they emit CO2, and they use a fossil fuel. By some estimates, they use 60% of all CO2 emissions in the world are cars. Some estimates I've seen 25%. And that keeps rising because people keep buying more cars, and industrial nations like, or developing nations like Brazil, India, China keep getting more cars because they get more money. And so his vision is to eliminate that and go 100% electric. He formed a company called Better Place. It's a startup, and he was able to raise $300 million in 3 years. And I'm sure Stefania, if she was here, she would be impressed with that. And his goal is to actually, well, I can hear some of you saying, wait, electrical still, you have to generate that electricity from somewhere that's usually coal, so where's the green in that? But he wants to offset that, have a zero carbon, zero emissions car by matching up cars with sources of energy. For example, in Denmark, he wants to match up windmills with cars. In Israel, it's solar, because we have a lot of sun there. And he has a whole system. It's not only the car. The car is one component. He has a whole system where the car, think of miles like minutes. Minutes on your cell phones, you buy minutes. Here he proposes buying miles, and having you buy a certain amount of miles, and that's what you pay for. You don't pay for the battery, you pay for the miles. And he has a whole infrastructure of, he has a charging posts, he has this thing here, a charge point. It looks like a car wash. You go in, an automatic arm comes up, swaps out your battery, comes down, you're out of there in like 4 minutes. So it's supposedly shorter than a gas station and takes less time. And he says 120 miles per charge, which is what most people drive, or less. It's more than what most people drive in a day. And so that's his vision. He has he's able to he's got Nissan Renault to make his cars, and he has experiments going on in Denmark, Japan, Israel, and San Francisco. By the way, he's also a very good speaker, and if you know TED.com, it's a website with a lot of speakers, very interesting topics. You can go and Google him. He has a 20-minute speech about his vision, very interesting. The next person is Dr. Edna Foa. She's a clinical psychologist, and she is helping the world by battling by helping with one of the great tragedies of humankind, and that is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. If anything, what it means is anything that is traumatic to a person, violence, abuse, and mostly war, can cause a person to be in anxiety and not function in the world. And she's battling this very successfully. It's estimated that from a Vietnam War, which was quite a few years ago, about 500,000 people may suffer from PTSD. And it hurts their life quality. Later, 300,000 for Iraq and Afghanistan. So this is a lot of people. And what she does is something she calls prolonged exposure, where she evokes the memories that trigger the events. So everyone is different, but certain sounds or sights trigger some fear in people. She gently evokes that, and I'm not sure how, but somehow that is able to lessen the fear. And within 12 weeks, there's already improvement. So much so that this is a cool picture, I thought. So much so that the Department of Veteran Affairs and the military here in America are using her protocol, and to great success. So she's making an actual change in the world. And so those are the two people that I wanted to share with you. Israelis on the Time 100